Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kodash. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call all in Wahawad La Halahay now Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kodash. And all praises to our power, Yahweh, which is the Heavenly Father, who's the Most High, the Almighty, who more even calls God, and His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. We say by Hashem Yahweh Shai because we are to get back to the Father through the Son, which is Yahweh Shai, who the world even calls Jesus Christ, because we of course sin and commit iniquity. So it's through Yahweh Shai as our mediator we have forgiveness of sin and access to Yahweh Hashem Kodash in the name of the Holy Spirit, which you have the ability to have the understanding of the scriptures. Of course, I want to give a shalom to the election out there. Shalom la b'chayarim shal yasha'Allah, to the elect of the nation of Israel, consisting of the 144,000 Hanabayayim, the prophets, Habarashim, the heads of the nation, who shall rule in the kingdom of heaven, and of course, through their preaching, will wake up the rest of the 1/3, which are men, women, and children, which are believers or they're no prophets. They will hear and hearken unto the warning, the 1/3, collectively, and receive the Tawah, which is the mark of exemption from the judgment. Should I say Shalom? And of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shani Kabbalah, Shalom Yakim now was the Quantified now, Shalom Yashala, God Water Kabaith, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Israel at Great Millstone in these times. My name is Mafa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. I come with a new lesson, my Mafa of truth, and this is just something I'm just doing in the spirit. Something I've been, of course, meditating on the past, because as time continues to progress, the so-called New World Order, or the actual New World Order, all right, is going to be established, which is really. Implementing total control via the sword and via his technology, which is both blessings that we was given from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Of course, E is the sword of the Wam, as you read in the book of Psalms, I believe 17 chapter, it tells you about that. And of course, in the book of Genesis, it tells you that by thy sword thou shalt live. And that's E, that's how he goes about just conquering and using the sword to keep his predominance on the earth, which he was given the dew of heaven, and the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, the ruling elite art of E, of Adawam, Shashua, Edom, okay? So, continuing forward, you have this article, which we know the end game, which is the New World Order, is to chip everybody, which we're talking about RFID microchip, also known as the NFC chip, near field communication. And you have something such as gradualism. As things progress with time, they gradually will push towards their agenda. Just not going to bring it out just bam. No, they're going to precondition the people. And they, of course, been ruling using witchcraft, sorcery. And so it's easily how many of the people, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, so-called niggas, Latinos, and the Americans, and Israelite foreigners, have been scattered abroad, which lineage goes back still to all the way to father's Israelite man. You're gonna, of course, take the chip and be caught in the snare, because the Lord didn't choose them to hear or understand. And the rest of the heathen nation there, of course, obviously going to be destroyed regardless if they take it or no. That's all the other nations outside the nation of Israel. So it says here, the quantified employee, which is the word employee means slave. Okay, quantified, I can look that up. I didn't look it up. This is on a whim. Quantified mean express measure of quantity. Okay, so meaning how much, from the Latin quantificare, from quantus, which means how much. So how much, or the quantity employee, in which really they want to track and know your whereabouts and what you're doing, and really to know if you're actually performing the job which you've been hired to do efficiently as possible. And want to, of course, save money. And while you, of course, are the cattle working as a dog. So it says how companies use tech to track workers. It measures employee performance with surveillance, and isn't new, but emerging technology are helping companies monitor workers in inarguably invasive ways. Are you being watched? And the question is being posed, and the answer is you are being watched. If you don't understand, this whole society is being pushed towards you being watched, your every move and tracked, all right, via the technology. So it says here, for 7 years, this particular guy, which it says your AI supervisor would like a word, and that's the artificial intelligence. And just to put a fast forward on the article, and you have it where a lot of the different decisions, some of these different gig economy jobs are being decided, and whether, because you're tracked on your everything, whereabouts, GPS, location tracking, how many declines, acceptance ratings, your rating on that is actually given by whomever you're providing the service for, etc. You're being watched and tracked. So in the end, you have it. I believe in. I was given knowledge of this from when my actual woman or wife, okay, at the time, she of course was doing the whole Amazon gig, which you have the Amazon Flex, which you do subcontracted deliveries on behalf as a third-party contractor, self-employed, for Amazon. Of course, to balance out the amount of influx of buying the consumer spends. And Slakia for that. Got a wee notification probably from my brother Slakia. So continuing forward, I'm gonna take off my notification. And one day she actually had got a notification, which pretty much it was claiming that she didn't that she was, I believe, if it wasn't being locked out, or she was being hindered from receiving extra shifts, and the reason was they're claiming that she didn't fulfill a certain quota, and they have a certain time to do it, and in many of these cases you can't do it because they have their own algorithms and their set ways to do it, and they don't take into factor at you as the employee. You have to make on-the-go decisions and such, which they can't even foresee. You're talking to a computer there, okay, that's just inputting information. All right, this been delivered, and they're not taking in consideration. You may have to go up flights and upon flights of steps, the different weather, inclement weather. Then you have to deal with pets and such, And you may have blocked or access to the property, or the impeding access and such. Different issues that arise and factors that arise. They just are just taking that, okay, deliver the package, okay, that's it, just take it out the truck and put it on the porch. But a lot of the times you have to also too, trying to get someone safely to take the package, etc. And these things, of course, are stresses to the worker. Okay, the end game for the employer is just to provide the service in the most efficient and timely manner as possible. But of course, this sacrifices a lot of times of the actual employee that's working, because they're highly stressed. They're working a lot against these different quotas and the time and stuff, and when it's not fulfilled, they of course dispose of you as a disposable commodity. And that's who you're viewed, and that's who the new world order is. If you're in a for their way, and what they of course have in their algorithms and how they want you to think and act and behave, you're going to be cut out, cut off, outcasted, and not needed. So let's just keep reading. It says here that for 7 years he's been a professional trucker. Most of the goods, Babylon being a very rich and prosperous nation, the glory of all the kingdoms. And they're mostly off of debt they have. But it's a consumer nation. It says 25-year-old Trevor has own common sense to drive his action. And that's how many people go about their workday, using common sense based on experience, being trying out. And that's another thing about these different apps. They don't know about that experience, being actually on the job, and have the experience to know to make a decision in a certain time in a season. It says, but one night last November, he was answering instead of a government to a government, meaning mind control, mandated device. His employer had installed in the truck and nearly ended him. And within all these trucks, as it's gonna go and tell you that Trevor, who actually only used his first name, was traveling through a small town and keeping the posted in the speed limit as he hit a curve, and he should have slowed down sooner. And an electronic logging device installed in his truck was ticking away, and he lost time. He'd have to find a truck stop and sleep there instead of home. So you have it, this ELD, which is going to go unexplained by, I believe in 2017, they of course have made it mandatory for long haul truck drivers to have these placed in their truck. Supervision on them. It says within seconds he was nearly a statistic. His truck had soared off the road, and a twisted wreck of the bed lay behind it, and the lumber it carried was scattered down the highway like a popsicle sticks. And miraculously, Trevor walked away with only a bit of bruises. So it says, and they got a wee image. You see overturned truck. And, so let's continue. It says, I was 5 minutes short on time, and I was trying to make up my 5 minutes so I could see my family, and it almost cost me my life, he said. And this is some of the different things that are troubles in the job, because you have also different work ease or of the wicked seed on the earth. They're set, be crew chief, supervisors, etc. And a lot of the times, they don't have really any understanding and discernment. So they may say, you go take lunch. You may be back here at a certain time, the time may be too short. You go, of course, and get your lunch at a certain place, and by the time you get to that place, then you're supposed to be already back at the job site. But then what? I'm not eating, or I'm supposed to just take my lunch, and a lot of people, Jake, they're catching on to this. They're like, man, this is crazy. But there's times where you could get away with it, but now due to these tracking devices they're installing in the trucks, and them, of course, having the phone, they go about in a subtle way, giving you a issued phone device, and the contact, to deal with certain job and business. You are given that information, and they are listening. They have ability to control as the authority. Okay, to listen in and hear. You're sacrificing your privacy, and that's as it's gonna go into in this article. It talks about how you pretty much waive your rights, when you sign these different employee contracts and such. Take these jobs with these benefits. Okay, so it says Trevor has been away all week, and he had wanted to spend the night at home before he was back on the road the next morning. I mean, people kind of even, the lorry drivers, the truck driver, them kind of even have a good home life, and because they're pretty much just long hauling, taking goods, Tay and Fay, just as a robot. This stuff is being automated anyway. It says racing against the time isn't any new for truck drivers, but accounting every minute is. Since 2017, U.S. long-haul drivers are required to be monitored by a ELD or ELD. All right, and that keep track of their location, speed, and to schedule how they space sleeping and driving. So you're at work, you're being micromanaged. He said, if I wanted to be micromanaged, I would have gotten a desk job. He said, Trevor said, many of these old-fashioned jobs are now, because of tech being changed. The whole spirit of it is being changed. Where you try to escape, being looked over by someone, a superior. And now, due to these laws and unrighteous decrees, you're just another one in the system whom they have in control. It says he's not wrong if you ever worried about whether you measure up at work. Employers now have means to find out in the same ways that they can monitor how much steps you take in a day, and they spend looking at your phone. How the place of employment, you can track your productivity, surveil your daily routine, and scrutinize how you spend most of your time with work. And that's why when you have these different devices and such, you have to be careful, especially on your work devices. Especially if you have certain jobs, within these different sectors, you have to watch out. Okay. Be careful, especially when it comes with having this knowledge. It wasn't knowledge, understanding. All right, there's no telling what they're doing with it, but we all know what they're doing. It says many employees wouldn't find it surprising that their computer-based activities are captured by keyloggers and other software, but physical tracking accomplished with wearable devices like Fitbits, brainwave monitoring helmets, and even implanted microchips. And this is the end game, the implanted microchip, which you can't take out. Okay, really, you can take it out, but when it's put in, it's in. Okay, like me, I'm making a point being that you have these wearables. You can take off the helmet off your heat or ash. You can take off your different whatever badge, et cetera. This they're putting in your body. Okay, you have to, of course, go and do invasive, to remove it, but you ain't supposed to take it if you're Israelite. R50 microchip is the mark of the beast. It says could feel like a violation. Moreover, this is an element of turning the human workforce into a robotic one that threatens their livelihood. It says the reality is that it is assigning a job contract is like being agreeing to the terms and agreements of a phone app. You might not realize the rights you have signed away in exchange for the benefits you receive. And more workplaces are adopting monitoring technologies, and the fewer options that are for employees who resent their presence. Yeah, the worker really resent the presence of the different things. You have it, one day, all right, they had cameras with an SD card, motion detector. Then that's, all outdated, obsolete. And then later, you have real-time cameras put up with, say, facial recognition software. It's dome shaped, and it can see from X amount of yards away. Real time can be monitored by someone sitting in an office being paid, $70,000 a year just to look at, a camera, which, security camera. They're looking at the cattle working in the field, which the field is the world. All right, let's see if we can get some precepts through the spirit. Let me see. Snare. Okay, probably some in Thahalium, the Psalms, but check what I can get. All right, I'm gonna bring out this one. It's the book of the Thahalium Hasapar. Okay, I'm gonna start at the top. It says here, Psalms 141. It says, to the chief musician, all right, which musician here is being Natazak, all right, or Manatazak, La Manatazak, all right, just that means an overseer, okay, when you go into it, musician, overseer, okay, to excel, to be preeminent, an overseer, okay, superintendent or director or chief. Some Achim got this name. Alright, so our Hebrew Baha Baryath, or in the Hebrew, or Abaryath, Asham, meaning name, Ibaryath, which is Hebrew. Alright, so it says, deliver me, O Lord. And the Lord, name of the Lord is Yahweh. Okay, highlighted here, which means he exists, from the evil man. Alright, Ma Adam, alright, of or from, and you have man. Okay, Adam, all right, and you have Rai, which means evil in the Hebrew, all right, Ma Ayash is man, okay, again, and it goes into Masayam Tha Natazar Niya. Okay, which that goes into violent, from Hamas, which means violent. Okay, which that's here. Okay, so just going and show you in Hebrew. I probably should start structuring my videos like that, since that's what I take a liking to the Hebrew as a mathath, or gift that Yahweh Shai gave. So it says, which imagineth. So it says, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually, they are gathered together for war. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing it war on you mentally, spiritually, psychologically, everything, okay? And, that's E. It says, they have sharpened their tongues like serpents. Adders' poison is under their lips. And look, with the different legal framework they got, it just traps you up. You have to agree. If you don't have that job anymore, you say I disagree, what then? And they end up trying to ship you out to another place just to get ready for you, just to quit. That's how E works. Instead of saying, hey, you're fired, You know, that's what he does in a lot of the different cases and stuff. It says, keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked, the power, which is Yadim. All right, hand. Okay, when you go into it, Ma Yad Ya. All right. So it says, it got there, Yad Ya, me, my, Rashai, wicked. All right. Hands of the wicked. Speaking of, preserve me from the violent man who had proposed to overthrow my goings. Let's go into goings, which should be what? You have the word for pa'im. Okay, going into goings, which is your footstep. Okay. Yeah, like one time, twice. Your footsteps and stuff as you go. A stroke on a beat, hoof, beat. Okay, footstep. They're just, of course, larking and setting you up. So, we continue forth in the lesson. And an actual article Slakia. This is part of the lesson. So it says here that it could feel like a violation. Moreover, there's an element of turning the workforce into a robotic one, which they have the transhumanism agenda to Internet of Things. Okay, it says everything's on the grid, including you. It says in real time. It says the reality is that signing a job contract is more like agreeing. Alright, I already read that Slakia. It says your AI supervisor would like a word. Okay, and it says that the technology has changed. Employee monitoring is nothing new, and like the scriptures talk about the technology. When you read, in the scriptures, under miracles in certain cases. Speaking about the technology at E, which, like, say for example in Revelation 13 and 14, and it says here that and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the beast they should make an image to the beast, and that which had wound by the sword and did live. Now here we have this beast system, which is the beast being NATO and the EU, and this is nothing but a Roman system. That's the image of the beast. It's modeled after the Roman Empire that was 2,000 years ago, the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, because it tells you in the book of Revelation 13:12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast, talking about the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago before him, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship. All right, you're gonna have to, assimilate and reverence, the ways and such, bow down to them, the ways that they have. It says, whose deadly wound was healed. His Romans bow here, back, okay, through NATO and the EU, the Treaty of Rome, okay, and you can go into that, but right, and they have the miracles, which is the technology. Okay, and also, you could read in a precept in the book of Thessalonians 2:9 that talks about that too, if I'm not mistaken. But see, I could just go and see. And, I'm gonna just pretty much just summarize the actual article from the best of my ability that I read it, and let's go from there, because I got the Machana camp to go to in a wee bit. Alright, so you have the book of, where's that, Thessalonians? Alright, it's either 2 Thessalonians 2:9 I'm speaking of. No, first test. Alright, so first T. And it's not there, but I don't know what. It gotta be there. Let me see. Go and do it this way. So it tells you here that right, even him who's coming, this is Second Thessalonians 2:9, even him who's coming as the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and their technology is one. Okay? It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And, Jake, they're going to be caught up in this technology. They're going to come to a time where they have to make a choice of whether they're going to accept this RFID microchip as the mark of the beast. This implant put in you is the size of the grain of rice, which you'll show in this. Okay, and in order for you to continue to work, you're going to have it. That's the end game. That's why they're just setting up the infrastructure everywhere. The cameras, the oracles. They got different little oracles. The portals that access, records and all the different things in real time. And it's a lot of things they're doing. And you have like I said, this is the vehicles, okay, tracked, etc. Okay, and it even showed you, and this is some of the things that I actually heard. To see, we're just trying to see if you're gonna be in the right place if you're at the right place where you're supposed to be. All right, so you no longer can, get away with, going, some Jake, they go to their house with this, whatever, vehicle and stuff or whatever. They just go to their house and then they come back. And now, because they're tracked with a truck and all this stuff, meant you're not going to be able to do nothing, all right, without them knowing. So I'm gonna just continue on. It says though the technology has changed, employee monitoring is nothing new. Measuring employee performance by surveillance, it was originally left to humans, with later assistance coming from the structure of the workplace itself. You have a manager who manages the workers, and he would just he'll be able to determine your performance. Are you doing good? Well, no, that particular manager, he only have 2 eyes, and he can't be in every place at one time. He wants to be as a god, as a power, having being omniscient or omnipotent, okay, and knowing everything. So, due to that, and he's trying to be the power, as it says here in Thessalonians 2:3. It says back here 2:3, for 2 Thessalonians, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. We fell, from our heritage, lost God's commandments, right? Discontinued from our heritage. 7 AD happened, we're scattered, this diaspora, and you have it fast forward now, those same demons that devils and Satan that 2,000 years ago besieged us, they're doing the same thing new. Okay, and they want this chip. Okay, they want total control. It says, verse 4 says, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the power of God, it says, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing them himself that he is God. That's how proud this man is. He wants to be revered as really God, the Most High. Okay, because in the spirit of how he comes, I can give you this, I can give you that, I control your future, and of course, if I don't listen to you, I'm gonna destroy you. This is how E is thinking about having this whole new order. Okay, just giving you a sight in the mind of him. Setting up the different idols and the images of him being as the power, which he did, iconoclasm, destruction of the images, and of course put up these whitewashed images, which really is E-washed images, as a leprous man and the angels and the Most High, saying that they of course are look like these so-called E's. All right, mean wasted. They having no wasted weight. Is he having no melanin and such, which is the Lord, the Most High, in the sun, they're, they appear at what, as dark. Their visage is dark. Okay, having woolly froze and such. Okay, just going to it, burnished brass and all right, burnt in the furnace. All right, here like the fool, yeah, and he's a man of war. But anyway, yeah. So this is it. Let's continue back to the article. So it tells you that in 18th century, Jeremy had conceived that Panicopon, an open-air circular building that made constant observation its priority as a way to watch everyone, including the watchers in prisons, factories, hospitals, and schools. Now, I can look up this. I mean, I'm not familiar with this term. To me, it looks like something like a, where you have that pan, meaning opticon. Yeah, circular prison with cells arranged around the central well. Like you look at so many different prisons from an area view, you'll see it. Circular prisons. They call that the wheel, if I'm not talking about. Let me just go and show you that. I believe that they call that the wheel. The wheel prison. Okay, so like you see something like this. Something like that at least. This is like, I believe, Eastern State Penitentiary. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Got the center. It's like here. And you can see everything. So, pan and eye, opticon. It says in open plan, circular build. Yeah, so I explained that. It says though never implemented as Benham imagined, the panopticon sparked the ire of a philosopher. This person, which is Michael Foucault, nearly 2,000 years later, he viewed the structure of the building as a symbolic of decentralization of power and danger of granting its individuals over each other. It says panopticism, and hence its modern day transformation. It made a change, right, into technology that monitors employees, trades, the tradition, ritual, costly, violent forms of power. It says Foucault said for a subtle calculating technology of subjection would mean under rule. Okay. It says here that this panopticon's legacy can be seen in the open plan offices of today in the workplace, monitoring that becomes persuasive and invasive in other ways. Swipeable badges have replaced time clocks, and they have these badges have that different the technology, the RFID in most cases. They're not even swipeable. They're just use radio waves, RFID or NFC. It says software handles jobs previously done by supervisors walking on the floor. And at some companies, such as Amazon, the employee productivity is no longer measured by people, but our AI, artificial intelligence, that judges whether or not the workers have met the quotas and fires them accordingly. So, you're not getting, an actual boss you're dealing with. Man, you're just you get an email notification. We have terminated you because you did not meet the performance that we so desire for our company. Just give you on that. Like, I remember my Ayasha, or woman, wife at the time. I told her that it's just an error, and to just, of course, repeal it. And then she, of course, got under and reconsideration or review, and they looked back and seen it was an error, and she got back on the job. But I mean, the whole system is off, okay, because they know that if one to deliver all the different packages, you have to take no breaks. And even if you do take no breaks, no bathroom break, your car is being, of course, compromised. You're sitting there, putting it through all these different terrains, just for them, and you're still happy or satisfied. So let's just go continue on. It says the use of surveillance in the workplace is only accelerating. And it says May Gardner survey found that non-traditional monitoring techniques, including tracking of employee movement around the office and their biometric data, rose from 30% of the 239 large corporation it surveyed in 2015 to 50%, so more than half instead of the 30%. All right, that number is expected to increase to 80% in 2020. So you're really going to have jobs that are not monitored by this different surveillance using the this AI technology, body measure, all assimilated within one. It says for the I can say, just speaking of the spirit, I could just see that the only 20% they're leaving left off is just someone who's just doing a old school brick and mortar, no computer, and just using a calculator and old school fashion, okay, with eye and man, and that's it. Some people prefer it analog way instead of this digital way. Since for the most part the benefits of removing human element from employee monitor rests with the companies and with not the workers themselves, more below. I would beg to differ, okay, because many of these companies are being forced, but it's change, okay, by government entities, himself. So they got different, technology wearables. This one tracks, your different vital signs and such. They always talk about having safety on the job, speak particularly about these different construction jobs and different, jobs when you're out there in the roadways and the major arteries. They want to track you, okay? The helmet, and this is ultimately what they want. This being the chip. They call it this chip on your shoulder here. Right? They say if you say anything about this badge, they got the different badges you can put on that monitor different things. It's been easily removed, which is not the case with microchips, and that's what they want. Microchips. At the 3 Square Market, a Wisconsin-based vendor machine supplier, over 80 employees had the RFID chip inserted into their hands voluntarily. You see, they noted that voluntarily. That's important. They said that there's going to come a time when it's going to be no voluntarily. It's going to be mandatory, which the precept is in the book of Revelation chapter 13. I'm pretty much about to close out the lesson. I tend to do these long lessons because I like to, provide a lot of information so you can, of course, know what you're dealing with. and have a better understanding of the times we're in, the season, and not to be ignorant of anything small or great. Okay, so it says here in verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which is the whole Roman system, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And a part of this system is to have you, of course, monitored and chipped. Okay, and he causeth all, both small and great, that he being the elite, the wicked of E. All right, they are the wicked, rich and poor, all the different social economic or statuses, free and bond, whether you're at liberty or whether you're incarcerated. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, heats. All right, brain chips and RFID chips, that no man may bite or sell, save he had that mark and the name of the beast and or the number of his name. Okay, and it goes on, of course, and shows you, about the 666 in it being the name of E, the number for that man, which is E. And that whole, when you go into the whole PLU or barcode system, he has that 666 within it. All right, which he's Satan, E. 144 conformed it too. So like in the time. All right, so continuing forth back. So it says that they can swipe the work, sign in, desktop, pay for FID. And of course, the story has been suddenly depleted with headlines like the company embeds chips, microchips in the employees, and they love it. And that's just witchcraft. Okay, just to get you to want it, desire it, think it's fine, leaving you ignorant. You see it here. That's it. Let's go into it. It says here that it says why most 3 Square employees jumped at the chance to wear a microchip, building on its good PR, public relations. The company promoted its plans to create GPS version for dementia patients. All right, and we have tracking. Okay, they're just trying to trick you, among other medical uses. Like they try to say your name going to be tracked. That's what a lot of the times they try to say, but that's a farce. It says, but the wholesome Midwestern reputation the company presents, the assurance about the chip does not become less convincing when the true source of its business is known. And we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, just so you know what he thinks is wicked plot, as it tells you in the book of Corinthians. All right, we know because the Lord gave us these mysteries. All right, and I'm gonna get this other precept too in the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and it says here that as for wisdom, verse 26 and 22, for as for wisdom, chachama, all right, what she is and how she came up, which wisdom is a feminine spirit, which is Sophia, and we have to love the wisdom. Okay, us brothers that's in the truth, it's our first love. It says, I will tell you, and I will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity and bring knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with consuming envy, hate, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. So you have to be of a pure spirit in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, upright, Yashar, all right, to be perfect, all right, having integrity, and that's only due to, of course, Yahweh Shai, whom, of course, we're covered by that blood, and Yahweh choosing us to be Bachayar, to be elect and to be found without guile, wickedness within our heart, all right, by Noah, All right, so yeah, so you said, the wisdom, it will not hide mysteries from you. Okay, and it tells you that, that the Lord revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. These different mysteries of what the RFID microchip is, what E is going to do with his new world order, that's been revealed to us. We know it already. Okay, it's been told through having the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, which the Lord raised up prophets and gave these divine revelations, so that we know it is coming back in our regeneration, back in the flesh. So continue forth. It says that they say it's wholesome. It ain't wholesome. It says about what the chip does not do become less convincing, and when the true source of his business is known, despite the depictions of the salad-friendly offices on its website. 3 Square Market makes its money from marking up products considerably to take advantage of the incarcerated in their families. And I would have to go into that. They're just pretty much saying they got a dubious background. Not to, of course, look at them as wholesome. Wholesome, that's health and such. That's positive, conductive, good health, right? Physical well-being, plentiful, wholesome, healthy, nourishing, ethical, moral. This isn't ethical. This is wicked. Okay, putting a chip and tracking you is unethical. Okay, it's wicked. And this is the device of Satan. E, the wicked. All right, which we know who that is. So it says here that, it goes in and tells you that, microchipping employees isn't limited to the United States, but they're going to have everybody do it. The UK biotech in Sweden, biohacks and implanted employees with chips in the finance and engineering industries. Biotech itself is the UK's leading human technology implant specialist and supplies RFID and NFC chips, microchips. The company's site lists the features microchip that include office entry, contactless payment, so you can buy and sell with it, obviously. Okay, and do all these, perform these other tasks. And under a section, bespoke solution tracking systems. Okay, which they're gonna track you. And biohacks is used at companies in the UK and Europe, as well as in the US. And it's the chip behind the 3 Square Market initiative, and it's been adopted by Swedes in their private lives. And Swedes, though our people scattered there, mainly Edomites there. All right, just to tell you ease. Initiative, the ability to assess or initiate things, right? And they're initiating the enterprise, okay, of E. Okay, just getting the ball rolling by, making it more popular. Okay, office gossip because of embedding under your chip. In chip, the mark is go back to chragma, which is incision. All right, going back to Palestine, which is going into man, Slakia for escaping me at this time. Like a trench, okay. Going into the, like you say, put something into the ground with the trench, and this chip, when it's embedded with that surgical instrument, and that's it. All right, so it says because of embedding under your skin, a microchip is a unabrasive, easily forgotten monitor, right? And they pretty much just get chipped and then you forget it. It's done and over with. You're fine. All right. In those aspects, it's not alone. Ambient monitors that U.S. Apple, Siri, and Amazon Alexa listen in on employees, making it like it's invisible. Right, and you have all these different devices which are internet, Wi-Fi enabled. A lot of the times they're just sending the information to the government just so that you of course signed to give them permission by buying the device and accepting the applications which are on them. it says you won't necessarily see them around the office, but they still could be there. And you have a lot of these different devices that you may think that is recording or able to take voice audio and visual, but they did. This the E is real subtle. So, and that's another blessing. And you see this technological, all-seeing eye. All right, the secret counsel of the wicked. Okay, you want to be Illuminati, you want to be as the Most High. Okay. Now, it says Siri now works with Salesforce to remind employees about meetings, quotas, monitoring their speech, and giving the ISO, the operating system, puts the platform in their pockets. All right, they got Alexis for business. All right, and now I think they're talking about some of the legislation. All right, that and such. So I mean, the chip is regardless. Is going to be made mandatory. That's the end game. So again, I'm just gonna end off the lesson now. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked, and preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. And let's go into that word overthrow. The Cha, which that means to be pushed, all right, to drive out or away. And it says be outcast. And that's exactly what we will be, outcast, when we don't take this chip. Now we have to completely rely on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to, of course, get us through to the next day. The just shall live by faith. We walk not by sight, but by faith. That's how we're going to do. And we're going to stay within the law, statutes, commandments, and don't take the chip. Because that's, of course, we ain't supposed to take any markings in our flesh and such, as it's but in Leviticus 19 and 28, I believe. I'm going to leave off with this other scripture just through the Spirit. Leviticus, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Give me a moment, Slakia. Chapter 2, and going down to verse 15, and it says here, they that fear Yahweh will not disobey, Slakia for the slip of the tongue. They that fear the Lord will not obey his, Slakia. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. Okay, we're going to be obedient. The actual true men of the Lord, okay, the elect women that, of course, are going to be guided by having the men of the Lord with them. Okay, they're going to listen and be in order. All right, and the men of the Lord will be your protection, the Israelite man of the elect. Okay, and that will be your husband. The Lord is going to set up if you, of course, are designed and designated to have salvation. That's your head, all right? Your ganan, your defense, your cover. It says, and they that love him will keep his ways. It says, they that are feared the Lord will seek that which is well. This is what's virtue, what's moral, what's ethical, right character, which is the follow law, statutes, commandments, the whole duty of man. It says pleasing or pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be fulfilled with the law, or shall be filled with the law, Slakia. And they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy, Chesadwa. All right, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem El Shai, by Shem Dash, and double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Well, of course, peace and salutation to the light where you've been scattered to. Don't take this RFID microchip. Okay. As things continue to progress, there's gonna be a day you may go into your job. You're definitely gonna go in your job, and they're gonna have this chip. All right. If you want to continue, you got to take this chip, or whatever way they're gonna do it. Okay. You're gonna have to have this chip. You know, whether it be this coronavirus, spreading, and they say, hey, you gotta have this chip, and this also is the way you're going to have to go to work and have entry that, wherever, to the cities, towns, villages, and wherever else. Okay, don't take the chip if you're an Israelite. It's the mark of the beast. With that, I want to say Shalom wa Yahweh Shem Shai B'Shem Kodash Shalach Rayim wa Nashim wa Mashapatiyim wa Haragim wa Abadim la Yabyim Nawa wa Hagawayam wa Adawam Babaksha. The water are all, I forgot. Just say all call Sakya. Lord knows what I said, but in the spirit. But yeah, so I'm on, and that's just me sending the curses, to send punishment, evil, judgment, killings, destruction to our enemies, to the nations. All right, Shalom. Till next time.